Andrew McCART, IFL TV, and start again. I'll edit that bit. I've got to say proudly sponsored by Everlast. No. Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm here with world title challenger Liam Williams. Liam, I've had a few days here. You've been out here a week in Miami, just over a week now.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying the sunshine? I mean, you're preparing for a world title fight, but it's beautiful out here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. It definitely raises the spirits and everything. But you know, if I could have a lot more fun if I weren't training and fighting this weekend, that's for sure. But you know, we're here to do a job. We're not here for a jolly or a holiday. So it's just business as usual for me, to be honest with you. I'm not spending too much time out in the sun, little bits here and there, because obviously I don't want it to burn me out, or I don't want to get sunburnt, or it's just a case of, you know, doing everything as normal for me. But don't get me wrong, the sun and the views and everything else it lifts the spirits a bit, makes it a bit easier.
Definitely, I totally agree. Well, I'll have the fun for you. I'll have a couple of drinks at night for you.
I'm sure you will.
You've been calling for this fight for a long time, since you became mandatory for Demetrius Andrade. You've said things that you're going to knock him out. You're very, very confident. Where does that confidence come from? Is it just spending all this time with Dom in the gym? Because I've seen you on Instagram, I follow you on Instagram, I've seen you on Twitter, that it seems like you're never out the gym. You look in tremendous shape. So where does this confidence come from?
Yeah, you know, it's just a case of self-belief. I think, you know, I believe in myself a lot more now than what I used to. Not to say that I didn't then, but I just know, for me now, it's the way I do, you know, the way I live outside of boxing. I'm a lot better than what I used to be. I train a lot harder, dedicate myself more. So it's just, and obviously working with Dom, doing the weight correctly. There's a number of factors which obviously just, you know, it's all playing its part and all coming together and give me the confidence you're talking about. You've
had some choice words for Demetrius Andrade. What's your thoughts on Demetrius as a person, as a fighter?
I think as a person, I'm not his biggest fan. I think he's a strange guy. I find him very hard to like myself. He's just a bit strange, a bit weird. But as a fighter, you have to respect his ability and his talent. He's you know, he's 3-time world champion, 2 different weight divisions. You know, they don't exactly give out belts for fun, do they? So, you know, if they did, I'm pretty sure I would already have one. You'd have a couple, and everybody else will too. But yeah, if they were giving them away, they'd be. I'm sure everyone would own one, wouldn't they? So, you know, it's a big thing, and you have to respect his talent. He's very good at what he does. He brings a lot of awkwardness, and his skill set is large. So, you know, you have to respect that.
He's obviously a big middleweight. He's a southpaw and stuff like that. So, in terms of your preparation, I take it you've just been sparring big southpaws in the gym and stuff like that in preparation for this fight?
Yeah, it's just been, general preparation's been all the same. Obviously the sparring's changed, but that's it. You know, I spoke to somebody earlier on and they said, what's your preparation be like? Have you been doing longer runs, shorter runs? I've been doing more weight training. Why would I change something which is working perfectly for me? Everything's remained exactly the same, other than sparring partners. That's all there is to it.
Demetrius has said that he's wanting the big fights in boxing. He's made it clear he wants the Canelo fight. He wants Billy Joe Saunders. He wants Golovkin if he gets past you. Is he looking past you? Because I know you're not looking past Andrade, but do you feel like he's looking past you and he's maybe thinking that get you out of the way quick and easy on Saturday night and get the shots and the fights that he wants against the big names like Golovkin and stuff like that?
Maybe so. I think he's probably, I don't think he's overlooking me in terms of how hard the fight's going to be. I think he's kind of looking past me in terms of what's going to be next, because he, you know, with every right, he thinks he's going to beat me. Fair play to him. I think I'm going to beat him. That's just it's a fighter's mentality, isn't it? So I just think he has probably got one eye on other things and elsewhere. So, you know, everybody says, oh, he's been chasing these big fights for years. So if you're talking about the likes of Canelo, Golovkin, Billy Joe, Golovkin and Canelo's box each other. Billy Joe's boxing Canelo. They are fighting each other. Where's he? Why is he not coming to it? Whereas I think if he really did want them fights, as bad as what he says, he would have had him by now. So I think he's happy enough keeping hold of his title, having average defences. He didn't want to take this fight with me because, I was his mandatory. I was forced on him, so he didn't want this fight. I think that's why he's got his ear up. To be honest with you, he's a little bit upset at the WBO for pushing him into it. So it is what it is. But as I said, if he really, really did want them fights, I think he would have possibly had them by now.
Have you envisioned what it's going to feel like to win that world title? Is it going to feel like how a canopy feels when it's like you put it up and it's a rainy day and stuff like that? Have you felt that feeling? Have you envisioned that feeling, what it's going to be like to win that world title?
Every single day, every morning, every night before I go to bed, I just picture myself. I just know in my mind, I know I'm going to win. I'm supremely confident, and I just get this feeling. I feel like I know I'm going to win, and I can envision myself holding that WBO title Saturday.
Going off Twitter and Instagram, sometimes you get a feel for like, oh, this might be a step too far for Liam Williams, and he's not ready for world champ. But when I go on my Twitter and my Instagram, there's a lot of people that's actually picking you to win. Do you feed off that when you hear your fans and people back home in Wales, England, Scotland and Ireland and that saying, yeah, I think Williams he's got a chance here? Do you feed off that? Do you get any sort of confidence from reading these sort of comments?
Of course, it's a good confidence boost, to know people at the back of me and stuff. But for me, it doesn't really make a massive difference because I quite like it when people write me off anyway. It gives me a bit more fire in my belly. That's why I quite like the fact that Andrade's like, oh, just another Brit, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm thinking, I'm going to fucking show this guy, do you know what I mean? And I'm going to prove him wrong. So for me, it's just about what I'm going to do, and I don't really care what people's opinions are. If they support me, then fantastic, keep supporting, thank you very much. If you're not, then fuck off.
That's
just how it is, isn't it? What's the point of me chasing fans if they're not going to like me? They're not going to like me. So on your way, go and find the next guy to like.
Well, that's well said there. You mentioned Andrade's got one eye on sort of like a fight after you, whether it be the Golovkin fight. But for you, if you win this world title, I know it's probably, you're human, so you do think ahead sometimes. I know you're fully focused on this fight, but I'm sure your mind has wandered. Like, if you become this world champion, I mean, for you, there's the big fights out there. We can talk about Chris Eubank Jr. back home, if that fight interests you.
It's a fight that does interest me, of course, but I'm not willing to waste any of my time talking about him at this point. I'm 2 days before a fight, and the guy he doesn't interest me. He's a fool.
But I mean, like the Golovkins and fights like that. People always envision fighting guys like Golovkin, and who knows? We spoke like on a coffee shop. You vacate, move up to super middleweight, you become manager for the WBO. Canelo's up there, big fights are up there and stuff like that. Have you let your mind wander a little bit when you're in bed at night, just to thinking about what your future would look like in boxing if and when you win this world title?
Yeah, 100%. At the end of the day, you're only human. You can't not think about them things. It's exciting, but for me, I've said for quite a long time now, I'd like to fight Golovkin. So if I win this title, that's the first thing I'm going to do is be calling him out. I want to fight him and maybe pick up his IBF title as well. I either want him, Charlo, or if none of them do, then I'll move up in weight and I'd like to fight the winner of Billy Joe and Canelo.
Well, people think that might be crazy, you talking like that, but the times that we're in and boxing is a crazy sport. We've seen it before and stuff like that, so it's not hard-fetched to think that you become world champion on Saturday, then these fights can happen.
No, it's just, it's within reaching distance, isn't it? It's, it's one step away, so it's one of them where you have to kind of have one eye in front, just like Demetrius is doing, really. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can't. He's human at the end of the day, so it's all exciting stuff. And I'm fully focused on Saturday, but I'm definitely planning on big things after this.
Can I tell him a story about Frisco? You're talking about Charlo and stuff like that. Can I tell people what you were like in Frisco when you were like, Andrew, I'm going to jump in an Uber, I'm going to Charlo's gym, just to go and call him out? I mean, we can tell him something. I'm not going to go too far because we can leave that for when you retire. I'll tell him, we'll do a retirement video and we can talk about what you're like in Frisco. But right now, we're not going to do it. But I actually thought you was deadly serious because you said it with a stone cold face. You said, Andrew, I'm jumping in an Uber and I'm waiting at Charlo's gym. I mean, Charlo's is a fight that he's brash, he talks. I think that's a fight that the build-up for you and him would be a great fight. But again, you can let people know about Frisco later on in life, but Charlo's a good fight.
Yeah, Charlo. Do you know, I was actually going to go to his gym that time, but I was going to go there, but apparently they wasn't there. There's certain times they were open and stuff, so obviously in the heat of the moment I was like, yeah, let's go. But then obviously thought, that's probably not a good idea. A fight's going to break out or something's going to go wrong. But in terms of the fight happening in the future, it's a fantastic fight. We both we both speak our mind. He's quite, he's quite outspoken and everything. So I think the build-up would be great and the fight would be pretty explosive as well.
Definitely. I mean, one last question before I let you go. I do appreciate your time. I know, like, you're fully focused on this fight and you just want to get this fight over with. So I do appreciate your time, Liam. But for the fans back home watching on the zone, for the fans in attendance here in Miami, what can we expect from Liam Williams this Saturday night?
I just think you're going to see the biggest performance I've produced yet. I'm going to bring pressure, punch power, and just all-out action, really. So, make sure you tune in. It's going to be a fantastic fight, and God willing, hopefully, you'll see me with my hand raised at the end of the night. I don't want to sound like I'm being negative or anything, but anything can happen in these fights as long as everything goes to the plan, which I'm going to execute, then I don't see no other way than me walking away with the title.
Well, Liam, like I said, I do appreciate your time, brother. I'll probably see you at Starbucks at some point for a quick coffee later on, but again, enjoy the sun when you can. Stay focused, stay safe, and I'll see you at the press conference later on today.
Yep, top man. See you at the press conference, mate.
Thank you, Liam. Thank you.